Show you again. You see these two rivers? See where this part bends? Just here, about here, in between these two hill ranges. Just take the zoom button, make a plus here. Automatically you will see this D, the D of Danganol will be visible from the top. This D of Danganol is useful. Yeah, see a D picture. Then you can zoom in a bit more around the D. I will say you choose. थोड़ा सा Danganol उसके बाद तक ये D ऐसे आ जाए. Make a zoom thing like this. ठीक है? इस तरह से. Now what we'll do is we'll set a computation region so that the computer will process only the thing that is within that box. So that, because this whole satellite image is very huge, if we try to process this whole image, it will take unnecessary time, we don't need to. So what we'll do is, we will first go here. You see this button? Various zoom options. Click on it. You can do both. You can just click, if it is zoomed more or less okay, you can do set computation region extend from display. You can click that also. Or else, you can set computation region extend interactively. When you click on interactively, you will set it with the mouse. So you will do this and set it. You see the red box will form. From here, various zoom options. Okay? So this part is done. Now what we'll do is, we will run the algorithm that does this unsupervised classification. First, we'll do unsupervised classification. So what we'll do is, there are 3 steps to it basically. We have to create a group that shows which layers GRASS is going to use. Second, we have to run a clustering algorithm. And the third is the classification algorithm. So just follow the steps. Normally classification in other softwares is a huge, like if you see any, how to do it on RGS, how to do it in QGS, like 30-40 minutes workflow. In GRASS it's essentially just 3 commands. So just follow me and write the commands. Or I will write the commands a bit, if I write here maybe it will be bigger for you. So type this command, i.group. I is the sign for all algorithms related to image processing. I.group. Group is equal to, and we'll give it the name of a group. We'll give it a name. So let's say LSAT underscore 2021. For you, maybe LSAT underscore 2026. Then space subgroup. Always in commands, command becomes very fast after some time, but be careful of spellings, spaces. Only space here, no space between equal to this and that. take care of caps lock, non-caps lock, all, generally all small. Subgroup also gives the same name, LSAT underscore. So it's come to the second line now, but it's actually continuous. It's just space, 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 no enter anywhere. Now, input is equal to, keep it up to here, because in input we'll have to put the names of all our layers, right? So the fast way of doing it generally is, come to the console. First, open in front of you the names of the files. So you do that by g.list raster. Right? Let's say I have, now you have only a few rasters, right? So when you run it, you will just see it. I have many rasters in this. I have many rasters in it. So for me, the better command is g dot, same like remove g dot list raster pattern is equal to maybe 2021 pattern asterisk 2021 asterisk when I do it. So I mostly get my 2021 files. If I make it even more powerful pattern, then I will say LSAT asterisk 2021 asterisk. As you wish. It's up to you. What do you want? So यहाँ पे किसी भी एक जो ये 20 है suppose, इसको ऐसे डबल क्लिक करके इसको कंट्रोल सी करके कॉपी करो. ठीक. Now run the command here. I will open it here also. Now type it like this. I.group group is equal to LSAT underscore 2021. Subgroup is equal to same LSAT underscore 2021. Space. Huh? Space. Yes, यहाँ इसमें लिखा space. Then input is equal to. अब इसको एक कंट्रोल भी कर लो, है ना? Now press comma. So comma करके डालना. So comma and then do control V again and just last के 20 को 30 कर दो. Then comma control V again, last के 20 को 40 कर दो. यही तो हमें layers डालने हैं. I just have to type the names of the layers. So rather than copying again, it's just a quick fix.
सर एक बार वापस
हाँ.
इनपुट इक्वल्स टू के बाद
So ठीक है. मैं अब मैं इनपुट इक्वल टू करना है मुझे. यहाँ से भी डाल सकते हैं, पर यहाँ से एक के बाद चला जाएगा, फिर कॉमा के टाइम शायद नहीं आएगा. सो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज जस्ट जो जी लिस्ट से मैंने यहाँ तो ऊपर लिस्ट बनाया था, है ना, उसमें से किसी भी एक को शेयर सिलेक्ट कर लेता हूँ, डबल क्लिक करके उसको कॉपी कर लेता हूँ. अब इनपुट इक्वल टू के बाद उसको कंट्रोल भी. अब मुझे कॉमा करके बैंड 20, बैंड 30, बैंड 40 ये सारे जितनों का भी मैं ग्रुप पर, यू कैन मेक ए ग्रुप ऑफ 2 layers, 4 layers, 5 layers. Essentially, I am telling him, when you do your classification, use so many groups to collect your data from. What data we'll see later. So, ये तो 20 है. अब मैं फिर कॉमा के बाद कंट्रोल V फिर कर देता हूँ, बस लास्ट के 20 को 30 कर दूँगा. It's just like that. It's just simple manual. तो मुझे 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 का मैं यहाँ पे लिस्ट बनाऊँगा. उसके बाद फिर कंट्रोल भी कर दूँगा, कंट्रोल भी करता जाऊँगा और एम के नंबर्स को 30, 40, 50, 60. It's actually too simple. Maybe that's why it seems strange. ठीक है. तो इनपुट में ये आगे सब कॉमा 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 करके आएगा. 20 अब मैंने इसमें एक जगह में ठीक है. जितनी बार जाएगा आई एम हैप्पी बिकॉज फिर याद हो जाता है. So makes no difference you lose it. It's just few more seconds extra. फिर enter. When you will click enter, he will show this. अगर कोई spelling वेलिंग में error है तो error दिखाएगा. नहीं तो he will just say adding to group, adding to subgroup.
अप एरो की दबाएंगे
हैं?
एक बार अप एरो की दबाएंगे एक बार अप एरो की
Up arrow. I can write a command here also. if you want. क्योंकि टाइपिंग सेम ही है, चाहे मैं वर्ड में लिखूँ या उसमें इट्स द सेम थिंग. 30 कॉमा क्योंकि मेरे पास ये वाले लेयर्स है 2 बैंड 2 3 4 5 6 7 तो उन सारे लेयर्स को मुझे ऐड करना है कॉमा 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 कॉमा. कॉमा के बीच में नहीं. ठीक है. We will do this many times, so it should give you a good problem. After few runs, you will be able to do it in just. You will do it yourself in a few minutes. After I group is done, then we'll run the next algorithm, which is the clustering algorithm. It's called I.cluster, and the command is like this. I.cluster, and then you will have to put the names of the group and subgroup. Group LSAT underscore 2021. Subgroup is equal to LSAT underscore 2021. And signature file is equal to, for simplicity, just call it sig. Report file is equal to, Hamisha, these are known as, this is the command, these are the arguments of the command. Space will only be between arguments. And inside the argument, there will be no space. Report file is equal to sig.txt. We will see what it will do. Space classes is equal to 10. It essentially is telling make 10 clusters based on the brightness, based on the intensity of the pixels in each band. Make 10 clusters using the layers that are there in specified in the group and subgroup. Also prepare a file called sig, which has the signature details. Signature means each band has each image has a signature, right? And report file means just a Word file that stores it so that you can evaluate it. So this command, I will type now in this thing. I.cluster. after so many days, the roti also has an effect. You are highly conditioned, I know, you said.
15-20 days it
Ah,
starts.
so group. After you have put the command, then press enter.
Not enough sample.
Not enough sample points.
Reading questions complete.
Lots of samples. Choose the right.
Two of you got this, no? Error? Not enough?
Not enough sample.
Sample point.
Not enough sample points. Please run again into the larger sample size.
Come here and do this. You see this zoom to computation region extend. Click on this. Which one? Click on this zoom to computation region extend. यहाँ पे एक है ये जो मैग्नीफाइंग ग्लासेस में एक है ये इसमें क्लिक करो जूम टू कंप्यूटेशन रीजन एक्सटेंड व्हेन यू क्लिक इट आर यू गेटिंग समथिंग लाइक दिस व्हाट आर यू गेटिंग
So I am getting a small dot.
it means the computation region did not get set properly so he's computing in a region where there are no samples right so let's say for example let's check here is your dot you also click this, zoom to computation region extend.
But the command is there.
गायब हो गया हाँ? तो now then press this return to previous zoom. तो पहले वाले व्यू में आ जाएगा. This one return to previous zoom. Did it come? It will come. Nothing will go anywhere. अच्छा वही चला गया. वो कहीं पे तो होगा. It doesn't matter, so you can close again. So you can close from here and say close GUI. And here you can just type GUI. Restart the screen. अभी आ गया.
Exists.
Right now, it's keeping the computation region totally here. If you zoom into that river part, I think you will be able to see that around. I stood out for me on the side, but I think you will see. So definitely will be somewhere in this one. Just check if you can find the D of the D of the economic because on the side will be like this part, but it will be in this area.
Sir, now after running the command it is showing option report file sig.txt exists
if it already exists, then you have to overwrite it. जैसे मेरे में भी एक है ना उसमें, क्योंकि मेरा कुछ already exist करता है. So anyway, look here and then we'll run the whole process again. So those of you who are getting stuck somewhere, then just when you get stuck, just look here. So when I ran with override just you have to click that minus minus and O. That does an override. So when you have this command. So now he's not showing me anything, but he has created a clustering of 10. Pay attention here now. We'll check these things later on. So let's say now he has created a signature file called sig, generated a report file which is stored somewhere. And this sig file will be used now in an algorithm which is called a maximum likelihood. Maximum likelihood is a statistical method of classifying things. There are many, of course, methods and algorithms. So now I will run another algorithm called imaxlic. And the command of imaxlic is also written almost similar to iCluster. It will be i.maxlic, group is equal to something, subgroup is equal to something, signature file is equal to sig. This is the same file that was created in the previous run. So it's like in two passes you have to do. In one it clusters, in the second one it classifies those clusters. Sig, and then the final will be, after that, output is equal to, you can call it classification or class, whatever. It's the output, final output map. And then another one will be very interesting, but you will see what reject is equal to, you can just call it reject map. Reject is equal to reject map. This is the command. So now let me run this command here. i.maxlic group is equal to lsat21, subgroup is equal to lsat21, signature file is equal to sig, output is equal to classification, reject is equal to reject map. So he just does it and he prepared something. On top is showing me the reject map, I'll cancel that. And he has essentially classified the map for me in what he considered is the classification, right? Now I am not interested in the classification of agricultural areas and other things that is a bit wrong. I'm interested in built-up area for now. Because later, of course, we'll use supervised classification also. But if you see now, what has it done actually? What has it done? It has created different colors. 10 classifications I asked it to do. So it created 10 categories, right? Now here I know is the center of Danganron. Built-up area is mostly here. When I click this blue color, it has value 1. It said this is something number 1. We know it's built up. This is one part of the mountain. These are all colors which are there in the vegetation on the mountain. Because this part is shadow, he's showing it dark. He's saying it's something else, but we know it's mountain. But for computer, different color, right? So if I do here, this is color number 8, category number 8, color number 10. This is color number, no, this is 10, and then this is what, oh sorry, I want the reject map. Yeah, here. This is number 6. Built-up area is number 6. On the hillside, number 3, number 2. The yellow fields are number 10. So now I also have a false color composite of this, or I can make one. You can also make one if you want. You can do D dot RGB. Always first run G dot list raster, pattern, whatever, raster all, whatever. Because this always helps you to identify which maps you want to see. So to create a false color composite, if you remember, we use near infrared, red and green. So you can select this band 5, just copy band 5, nothing else. Then command write D.RGB. R is equal to, paste what you got. G is equal to 40. B is equal to 30. So it's tricky all this, like always remember, anything that is done in class, you will have to practice. You will have to practice the commands at home, otherwise you will forget. I will write here. इधर ये और G को 40 कर दो. So if you see, this is what the false color composite look like. जहाँ पे vegetation is red, this green is 40, B is 30. So now if you see here, ये जो grayish वाला जो है, this is built-up area. The black ones are water, green is vegetation. These ones, these brownish light ones are fields of different kind. Different depending on soil surface, ये सब अलग-अलग चीजें. Now we'll see. Now if you see how he has classified it, if I go a little bit closer to the build-up, it doesn't matter. Focus on the command you can learn anytime. Focus on. So this is built-up area. Because and all those things you always revise. Yeah. Let's say what is false color composite. What is this? If things are done covered in some class, because in every class everything will not be covered, but it will come back. So what you have done, of course, you have to revise and remember at least the concept. What is band? What are combinations of bands? Because otherwise, in every class, if you will repeat everything, you will not be able to go anywhere. But understand the concept. So now, this in satellite image is built-up area, and this is the classification of that built-up area, which means ये वाला जो green color है, whatever color that is, computer identified that as the built-up area. यहाँ पे जो है, उसको उसने built-up area. Now right now we can give different colors to different ones. Now let's say I want to extract the built-up area from this. अब ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि कहीं भी built-up area नहीं है, पर कलर उस जैसा लग रहा है इसलिए उसने उसको built-up area मार्क कर दिया. Because right now we have not labeled anything. हमने उसको कैटेगरिकली कहा नहीं है कि ये वाला पार्ट जो है ये built-up area दिख रहा है पर ये रेत ही है, ये built-up area नहीं है. उसको हम सुपरवाइज में उसको एक पॉलीगॉन बना के कह देंगे कि दिस इज not built-up area, something else. This is built-up area. Then he will be like, okay, will be more he will have guidance. Right now he's doing, that's why it's called unsupervised. So now अब मैं इसमें देखता हूँ, क्लासिफिकेशन पे क्लिक करता हूँ और इसमें देखता हूँ कि इसका नंबर है क्या, ये किस एरिया में जो बिल्टअप एरिया पे गिरा है. This color, this light cyanish color is what number? It's 6, right? So then I will instruct the computer, जैसे हम query करते हैं vector में. In raster you do query using something known as raster algebra. So that has its own syntax. Right now just follow the command and you will understand. It actually writes, like in programming, an if-else statement. Which means, what does it do? It says, the command is r.mapcal, map calculation, raster.map calculation, double inverted comma. And you can give your new map to be made a new name, BU, built up. You can put space here because we are within double inverted commas. BU is equal to. And now I'm writing another, like within RAS command itself, a programming statement where I'm saying if the value number in the classification map is, was it 1 or was it 6? And 6. If it is 6 in the new map, make that value 1. All other values make it 0. Which means I will create a binary map where 1 is built up, everything else is 0. It can be anything. Whatever it is, it's not built up, right? So I want to understand just where is built up, right? Or I can also do, if I want to make a transparent like map, I can say make all built up 1, everything else null, like no data, right? So it's a very compact syntax. So it's written like this: if within brackets classification is the name of my map, is equal to. In programming it's the word is equal to. Because if you do is equal to, that means if you saw, you are making a variable who is equal to 1. But what I'm trying to say is, if classification is 1 in this case, so there I write is equal to. It's is equal to means let equal to. If classification is equal to 6, then in the new map, BU, make it 1. Otherwise, just comma is otherwise. It doesn't even write otherwise. It's just like, that's why kind of doing this makes you slightly different. You may be called nerdy, but you may also become smarter in that. Because you will understand the first comma, और हो ही क्या सकता है, दो ही चीज़ें। तो जब दो ही चीज़ें हैं, पहले वाले में if or else, if नहीं तो फिर if भी क्यों लिखना है, else भी लिखना है। पहला comma if है, दूसरा comma else ही होगा। It's kind of like it's ultra compact. So it's like 1 or else null. Null is written like that. Null followed by this. अब ये ब्रैकेट है तो ब्रैकेट क्लोज करने के लिए एक और ब्रैकेट चाहिए होगा इसके साथ एंड देन डबल कॉमा क्लोज. ठीक है, तो देखते हैं इफ इट वर्क्स और नॉट. नाउ आई कैन राइट इट इन द टर्मिनल. r.mapcal bu if classification is equal to 6, make it 1, otherwise null. Right? So let's see what happens if I run this. He finished in 0 seconds and probably has created a map called BU. So in order to visualize BU, let me turn everything off. And I will say d.rast display raster BU. And yes. So probably he has identified a lot of the built-up area correctly. Probably also has given other built-up area. So in order to see overlaid, I can now open.
सर क्या कमांड डाला था इसके लिए?
I will say. So now if you see here, this is the built-up area extracted from the original satellite map taken. And now already you will see it is correct and it is also wrong. So it is correct where it is correct, but it is also correct where it should have been no built up. कहाँ पे? जैसे if I see this part, ये जो घिसा घिसा सा है, ये किसी तरह का थोड़ा कोई डिग्रेडेड लैंड या फैलो या उस टाइप का, ये बिल्डअप नहीं है. कभी कभी ज़्यादा डिटेल देखने के लिए वी कैन सी कंपेयर इन गूगल अर्थ ऑल्सो कि फ़िलहाल वहाँ पे क्या है, यहाँ पे खेत है एग्जैक्टली क्या है, उसमें जूम ज़्यादा जाता है. पर ये तो हमें दिख ही रहा है कि ये बिल्डअप नहीं है. पर जब हम बिल्डअप को ओवरले कर रहे हैं तो उसने यहाँ पे भी बिल्डअप दिखाया है. पर यहाँ पे है, यहाँ पे उसने ठीक ठीक ही दिया है. देखो यहाँ पे जो पॉन्ड है उसको नहीं लिया, पॉन्ड को उसने छोड़ दिया है, पहाड़ी वाले एरिया को नहीं लिया है. यहाँ लिया है, काफ़ी जगह सड़क पे उसको लिया है, काफ़ी जगह उसने लिया है, पर इसको भी ले लिया जहाँ पे उसको नहीं लेना चाहिए शायद. अगर मैं ये देखूं कि मेरे क्लासिफाइड मैप पे उसने पानी के लिए क्या दिया था, तो यहाँ पे पानी है, ये पॉन्ड्स है, ठीक है. आई कैन जूम इन स्लाइटली क्लोजर टू इट एंड टर्न ऑफ माय दिस लेयर. तो ये वाला पानी इन माय क्लासिफाइड मैप, दिस वाज द वाटर लेयर, and I will see what is the number of my water layer. It's 1. So now I can same way create a separate map and I say r.mapcal. Now you can try again. Then double inverted comma. पहले मैं इसमें लिख देता हूँ r.mapcal double inverted comma water. New map water is equal to, if bracket classification is equal to 1, then in the new map put 1. Otherwise, no. To display your map, of course, from g.list you can find, or you know it's water, so you will just do d.rast, display rast, d.rast space water. So now you will see what has happened is, in my map, सबको ऑफ कर देता हूँ, तो इसको ये वाटर दिखा रहा है. तो शहर के बीच में उसने कहीं कहीं पे वाटर को तो सही मार्क किया है, पर पहाड़ी में जहाँ पे छाव है, जहाँ पे शैडो है, वो भी तो डार्क दिख रहा है. सो इफ यू सी इन दिस मैप, ये तो पहाड़ी का शैडो है, बट द कलर ऑफ दिस इज वेरी क्लोज टू द कलर ऑफ द वाटर बॉडी इन अ फॉल्स कलर कॉम्पोजिट मैप. तो जहाँ जहाँ पे छाव है वहाँ पे उसने उसको वाटर कर दिया है. सो इफ यू सी व्हेन आई ऐड द वाटर ऑन टॉप ऑफ दिस, तो उसने कहाँ कहाँ पे देखो पानी, जहाँ जहाँ पे पहाड़ी में छाव है, शैडो है, वहाँ वहाँ उसने वाटर डाला, क्योंकि फॉर हिम इज नो वाटर, इट्स जस्ट ब्राइटनेस, कलर एंड प्लेइंग अराउंड विद दैट इमेज कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. पर जहाँ पे सही पे वहाँ भी डाला. लोग कहीं कहीं पे एक्स्ट्रा डाल दिया थोड़ा, पर इस वाले को उसने किया. This put water. So in supervised classification, even in unsupervised, you can tweak around. You can say increase number of classifiers, increase degrees, remove the errors. But best is supervised, because in supervised what I do is, we will not do today. Today I will later I will share you the commands so that you can practice on your own. But in supervised, what happens is, I make a small polygon here. And I say this polygon is equal to beta. Means all pixels within this polygon are beta. It's a sample. It's like a sample survey. There are so many pixels who may be built up. मैंने उनमें से इतनों को इंटरव्यू किया. इतना इंटरव्यू करके मैंने कंप्यूटर करके दीज आर द इंटरव्यू आंसर क्वेश्चन है। यहाँ पे ये जो सब है ये सब बिल्टअप है, इनका कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ले लो एंड देन अप्लाई दिस कैरेक्टरिस्टिक अक्रॉस दिस होल एरिया, wherever a pixel matches this characteristic, make it built-up. So that's why I take sample like that. यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा built-up का एक sample बनाया, यहाँ पे एक sample बनाया, 5-6 ऐसे polygons बनाए, कहा कि these are all built-up. फिर water body कर लिया, फिर पहाड़ी में जाके क्या करेंगे, इस पूरे को polygon बना लेंगे। तो वो क्या करेगा, तो उसमें छाव भी है, नहीं छाव भी है। So when he will do the statistical average of it, वो कहेगा कि ये बस पानी नहीं है, पानी के अगल बगल में अगर ऐसा है तो वो पानी नहीं है, पानी के अगल बगल में बस पानी ही है, जब मैं पानी को मार्क करूँगा दोस्तों तो पानी है। तो वो क्या करेगा, उसका इट्स ऑलमोस्ट लाइक वो जब एवरेज लेगा तो वो जो पिक्सल्स हैं उसमें आएगा ब्लैक 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 ब्लैक, एवरेज ऑफ दैट इज ब्लैक। पर पहाड़ी में जब आएगा तो इट वुड बी लाइक सारे पिक्सल्स को जब मैंने उसको सैंपल किया, मैंने कहा ये पहाड़ी है, तो ये पहाड़ी है में वो क्या करेगा, रेड 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 लाइट रेड लाइट रेड लाइट रेड ब्लैक 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 ब्लैक, ये करके फिर एवरेज निकालेगा। सो एवरेज में वो कहेगा ब्लैकिश रेडिश व्हाइटिश इज हिम। So he will look for that combination, that precise combination, by which a painter makes painting with a 2D make. All this is 2-dimensional, but it feels like 3-dimensional. Why? Because of the brightness, tone, this and that. Yeah, so तो कुछ भी नहीं। So he looks for that exact combination, जिससे ये पहाड़ी जैसा लग रहा है। तो वो उसको जहाँ मिलेगा, फिर वो उसको कहेगा यही पहाड़ी है, दूसरा वाला वाटर है, इसमें पहाड़ी के ऊपर वाटर है। So that's how the supervised classification works. But what is the fun of this now? Now let's say, अभी मैंने एक बनाया था, assume that my built-up calculation is correct. I've done supervised this and that. मैंने एक layer बनाया था BU, और मैंने एक layer बनाया water. Now I will do a command r.report, and I will put the name of the map BU. And then I will write units. You don't have to do it now, just see here. In units, I will just write CHP. CHP means C is how many pixels, H is just translate pixels into hectares, because each pixel here is 30 meter by 30 meter. So how many hectares, you can in units also kilometers. And P is percentage of total. So when I run this report, look, it generates wonderfully a report for me. He says, in this total computation region, built-up area, you yourself have said built-up area is 1. That means percentage of built-up area is 10.9%. No data is 89.09, the remaining part. So you can figure out how much percentage is built up, and exactly how much, 2,340 hectares and so many pixels. Pixels se calculate ho raha hai, 25719. 2579, each pixel is 30 meter by 30 meter. That means 30 into 30, 900. और अगर मैं 900 meter square, so 25719 pixels अगर built-up area में है, तो into 900 करूँगा तो so many square meters. We know that 10,000 square meters is 1 hectare. उसको 10,000 से divide करो तो 2314 आ गया. That's exactly what is calculated. 2314.70. So from your classification, but of course classification has to be correct, data has to be correct, classification has to be correct, but you know the method. Supervised we will do next time. Unsupervised also you should practice, because sometimes unsupervised can give you good enough, then you don't have to do supervised. But advantage is what? In your, so this is not Dhankanol area per se, in your area, in your, let's say this area. So, but later on you can also put the municipal boundary, mask out the rest of it, and you say exactly in 2021 built up area in Dhankanol municipality was this one. And then what that means, what you can do the same thing with a 2010 map. And then you will be able to say that in 10 years, built-up area increased this much. And that means what? You can now relate built-up area with population. That means population is increasing this much, built-up area is increasing this much. Whereas per capita, how much land is getting consumed? Then in the outlying districts, where it is still, also you can figure out in which direction it's increasing. So if 2010 अगर इतना था, 2021 में इतना बढ़ा, तो किस साइड में बढ़ा, किस साइड में नहीं बढ़ा? So then one finds associations of and one finds relationships, and one can find the trends of growth. In future, which direction is Bangalore most likely to grow? तो प्लान भी तो उसी तरह से बने. प्लान में अगर एज्यूम किया कि ये नहीं बढ़ेगा, तो वो एक्चुअली बढ़ेगा, क्योंकि डेटा दिखा रहा है कि वो बढ़ जाएगा. इस रास्ते के अलाउंग बढ़ेगा, इस रास्ते के अलाउंग, सड़क के अलाउंग तो हमेशा बढ़ता है. तो शायद यहाँ पे खाली ही रह जाएगा, अभी भी खाली है, पर शायद इधर इधर बढ़ता रहेगा, और उसका म्यूनिसिपल बाउंड्री इतना ही रहेगा, वो उसी पे कॉन्सेंट्रेट करते रहेगा. जबकि इट्स बिल्ड अप एरिया probably has already started going along this highway axis and is going there. So all those patterns one can discover, and each time you do this thing, you can check the statistics, not just the how much. Now the same, अब चलो हमारे water में हमें पता है कि shadow भी mark कर दिया उसने, but we can at least check. We can say R dot report map is water, units we do the same, C H P. तो 4.6% वो water दिखा है, क्योंकि उसने पहाड़ी को पकड़ा हुआ है. Now, but if you have a correct classification, then what can you do? You can check water body surface in 2010, 2021. You can say increase, decrease, what happened. And this is also done in post-flooding situations. So let's say you classify a map of a river in the pre-monsoon. Then you download satellite image immediately after monsoon. जब satellite उसके ऊपर से गया तो flood दिखा होगा उसको पूरा. So from this one can compare these two, exactly where it did not flood, where it did flood, as a spatial analysis of that. अभी इस पे हम बाद में slope भी जोड़ेंगे. And उसके बाद हम ये रिलेशनशिप देख सकते हैं कि कहाँ पे बिल्ट अप एरिया है, कहाँ पे बिल्ट अप एरिया नहीं है, वहाँ पे क्यों नहीं है. ये तो हम जानते हैं कि सड़क होती है तो बिल्ट अप एरिया होता है, सड़क नहीं है तो क्यों, जहाँ पहाड़ी है वहाँ बिल्ट अप एरिया नहीं होगा. हम ये भी देखेंगे कि स्लम के लोकेशंस किस तरह से, कहाँ स्लम है, कहाँ स्लम नहीं है, जहाँ सड़क है उसके पास स्लम है, कि जहाँ कुछ और है उसके पास स्लम है. स्लम से दूसरे फैसिलिटीज़ कितने दूर है, how far marketplaces, how far other kinds of things, all kinds of analysis you can do. And so this is kind of your, essentially you end up doing a land use, land cover map preparation of your home for any region. Just download the satellite image, know the thing, and now just in the end, let's see, मेरे होम फोल्डर में कहीं भी उसमें वो सिक फाइल को जो तुम्हारे सी ड्राइव पे रखा हुआ, मेरा उसमें होम फोल्डर में कहीं भी ये है sick.txt, यहाँ उसको डाला. Now let's see what this sick, that signature file, तो it's almost like जैसे same like our signature. वो किसी का दस्तखत लेता है, फिर चेक करता है कि ये कहाँ पे इनका सिग्नेचर है, वो रिपोर्ट इनका है. So he checks the signature of a particular file, image file, and then generates for that land use a signature and matches other places. That's why it's like a signature file. And if you see in the signature file, it gives, we prepared all this when we ran this. Total number of cells, kitne study area mein, rows, columns, this and that. And look what is calculated. Initial average of each band. We used 7 bands, 6 bands. Band 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this means, और हमने कहा कि तुम classes बनाओ, 10 classes. So how did he do? He started calculating the means, and a massive computation he did. For all these cells, there are 235,000 cells. he checked the mean, standard deviation of each of these pixels. फिर उसने कहा कि उसने these are averages. Total brightness of all pixels divided by total number of pixels for class 1 in band 1 9000 this and this इस तरह से उसने अलग अलग according to the means. That means what? Each layer has a different brightness, so it will have a mean brightness. Then that mean brightness will have a standard deviation. That means how much all the brightness of all this is deviating from the mean. So ये सब analysis फिर सारा निकालता है, mean versus standard deviation for each band, for class 1, class 2, all this processing which we don't even have to bother about. But in a way you will see learning image classification is almost same as learning statistics. And by doing this, you will also learn how to process survey data. Because essentially what you're doing is you're doing a survey. You're doing a survey of this map. और जब हम supervised करते then we do a sample survey of the map. It's almost like मेरे 7 layers हैं. मैंने उस 7 layers is almost like 7 kinds of questions. So imagine Osama is a pixel. तो मैंने एक जगह पे कंप्यूटर को कहा कि ओसामा को जाके पूछो कि आपके ब्लू बैंड में आपका वैल्यू कितना है, ग्रीन बैंड में आपका वैल्यू कितना है, रेड में कितना है, इंफ्रारेड में कितना है. ओसामा ने सब बताया कि ब्लू बैंड में 9000 ब्राइटनेस है, ये वेजिटेशन एरिया है, सो इंफ्रारेड में काफ़ी हाई है. इट्स ऑलमोस्ट लाइक आस्किंग ओसामा आपका एज कितना है, आपकी सैलरी कितनी है, आपका वो कितना है, फैमिली में कितने लोग हैं. It's the same. It's a survey process. So he's analyzing that survey data. He's taking the standard deviation. He's taking this. तो वो सबका पूछ रहा है. तो इनकम सबका कैसा है? मतलब बैंड 2 में सबका कितना वैल्यू है? एवरेज इनकम कितना है? स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन फ्रॉम द इनकम कितना है? So it's that same thing. So you learn one, you can apply anywhere else, and you learn. So also that now you realize GIS is actually heavy statistics. GIS comes from a movement which was the quantitative revolution in geography. So in geography there was a quantitative review from which in planning also it happened through modeling, through these kind of things. It was the application of quantitative techniques in these subjects. Otherwise GIS is not possible. It cannot even calculate anything. So we are seeing the map, but he's using statistics, numbers, mathematics in the back to process everything. Then finally he creates this class separability matrix, जिससे हमें ये पता चलता है कि जैसे this is quite a high number, 3.9, मतलब band class 10 and class 2, whatever they are, very well separated, very well classification is, they are two different things for sure. चाहे परछाई हो या bright हो, but they are different in color, they are different. Now, when you have 0.7, it's a low. तो हम देख सकते हैं कि 0.3 और 0.2 इनमें ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं है, पर इसने फिर भी क्लासिफिकेशन हमने कहा कि 10 में क्लासिफाई कर करेंगे, तो 2 और 3 में ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं है. तो हम ये देख सकते हैं कि 2 और 3 है कौन है. तो अगर मैं इसमें जाऊँ, and if I do, and I just create so 2 and 3, it's this ये जो पहाड़ी वाला. So actually, if you see, class 1 is this water thing, जो उसने परछाई में मिला दी. Class 2 is, I am pretty sure this, class 2 seems to be these areas. Class 2 ये जो पहाड़ी वाला है. Class 1 के बगल में एक class 2 and class 3 ये है क्या? पहाड़ी का दूसरा साइड, हाँ class 3 है. तो उसमें क्या कहा है कि उसको शक तो कुछ हुआ है कि ये दो काफ़ी सिमिलर, इसलिए उसने अलग किया है, but he has not made them two. He said that separation is 0.7. You know, he's tried his best actually. And if I see what's the difference between 1 and 2, difference between 1 and 2 भी देखो ज़्यादा नहीं, 0.8, 0.7, 0.8. In the scale, 0.7, 0.8, this is slightly, this is a less separation. And that means वो चाह तो रहा था कि इन दोनों को इनको मिला ही देता हूँ, पर वो फिर भी पूरा क्लियर नहीं है, क्योंकि 1 को वो मिला देगा पहाड़ के साथ तो शहर का वाटर बॉडी भी मिल जाएगा. So there will be limits on how much we can do automatic. That's why it's very important to know how things are happening, how computer is doing it, rather than blindly accepting what computer is doing, because it's like the same error that they make in AI or something else. They think I will give an error, something will be there. No, there is a process by which he says these are the processes. Different algorithms will be more or less powerful, but limitations will be there. जहाँ पे पहाड़ी का रंग और पॉन्ड का रंग एकदम सेम हो जा रहा है, वहाँ उसके लिए anyway it's almost impossible for the computer unless some other labeling. That's why in AI also, in machine learning also, supervised is used more, but unsupervised में interest क्यों है? Because unsupervised is even more automation. So wherever unsupervised can work, very good, because then I don't even have to do the labeling. So research continues in, of course, in both of them. Now if I see कहाँ पे सबसे ज़्यादा है, the 10 and 2 में, the 10 and 2 is this पहाड़ी वाला side and 10 is this yellow जहाँ पे ये जहाँ पे वो खेत थे शायद, जो एकदम ही उसका कलर लाइट ये का था, तो उसने कहा ये तो which is correct, ये मैदान है, ये पहाड़. Effectively I said totally different based on the color, totally different. पर पहाड़ का shadow, पहाड़ का ये side, पहाड़ का वो side, he put them very close. He said these are close by, you know. So now later that means what? One can create also a new map where I can give again, this is I never tried, but I will not try now, time will finish. But we can now do something like this. Mountain or hill is equal to if classification is equal to 1 bit algorithm, or sign is double bar, like a double pipe is or in computing often. In like in उसमें QGIS में or लिखते हैं, in programming you will often write like this, you know, or classification is equal to 2, or classification is equal to 3, is equal to 1, or else no. So we don't know what will happen. Let's see. Computer can do a thing millions of times. उसको ना थकान है ना कुछ, so this you can make your computer work as much as you want. Hill is equal to if is equal to 1 or occupation is equal to 2 or equal to 3 is 1 or no. And then I say so now if I अब उसने कुछ water bodies को भी पकड़ लिए होंगे, but what he has done is now if I open the classification and also the तो यहाँ पे तो ये तो hills है, ये मुझे दिखने की ये hills है, जब क्लासिफाई किया था तो हिल्स में उसने अलग अलग कलर, 3 अलग कलर कर दिया था, पर अब जब मैंने उसको हिल बनाया तो उसने हिल को डिलीट किया. Because effectively what I said is merge these four. If it is 1 or it is 2 or it is 3, merge them. But look at this. ये जो पॉइंट था उसको भी उसने उसमें डाल दिया. So, but it is just to show that you can join, you can combine, you can do these things and do anything basically. So next time when you will do supervised, then after that, anyway you can calculate anything. You can download the satellite image of 2001, do that. Download of this, you can do that. And once, so this is classification, this is image classification. And later इसके साथ हम vector layers को combine करेंगे, that will do later. So this जो लिखा है, you practice it, and I will share with you the commands also. And also you can do a search on GRASS GIS. You can just type like this, GRASS GIS image classification tutorial. तो ये वाला पेज आएगा, इसको बुकमार्क कर लो, image classification. And GRASS has very nice tutorial data also. उसमें फिर layer input के tutorial data comes in the form of a location. उसके अंदर map sets already बने हुए रहते हैं. So you can just take that location and on that, so in tutorials generally that tutorial data is used, but you feel free to do it on your data also. So यहाँ पे like when you will see, you can read, it will tell you a lot of things, how these things are done, what works in it, and then what is unsupervised, unsupervised classification में क्या modules use होती है, and then you will see there is a small, tutorial, small classification tutorial. So warming up with Landsat data, image classification, unsupervised, supervised. So assessing the quality and then further material if you need. So just do GRASS GIS image classification tutorial and you will get it from there. So I think it's heavy enough.
So I have a question.
Ah.
The last thing which you did, like combining all, so you wrote it should be in layer 1, but it turned into yellow layer 10.
I said create a new map where if in the classification map the value is 1 or it is 2 or it is 3, in the new map make all those value 1.
So it should be dark blue color.
So color you can change, but whenever he makes a new one, there is a default setup. You will put that as yellow. The rest will be transparent. You can change it. For example, I think our colors. So now you see the mountains have turned into this color. So that you can change. You can give colors by, I think by numbers also. Or if you want rainbow, reds, you turn to reds. That you can change. Same with these other ones. I didn't change it, but you can change the color wheel of the classification map also, because it's all blue, dark blue, this and that. But you can change it to built-up area is red, vegetation is green, this and that. But if you don't need to do it for now. So say for example BUR dot colors, BU color is equal to orange. So now this becomes your this shows as built up area. But Of course, he has taken more built-up area. So to get the accuracy of it is a different challenge altogether. And for that, more and more knowledge one has, the more and more one can do. Entirely depends on the knowledge. For example, built-up area is composed of what kind of materials? Those materials have what kind of spectral signature? Spectral signature exactly means this. Like your CV is your signature. What is your degree? What is your age? What is your qualification? All these things together is like your signature. It's your CV. So let's say that's how spectral signature is done. So it's a spectral. Look at this. So if you see, for example, green grass. Green grass reflects so much percentage reflectance in these wavelengths of light, of electromagnetic, of sunlight. In the blue band it reflects this much. In the green band it reflects this much. Look, among blue, green and red, it reflects green more because it's green grass. But look how much it reflects in the near infrared, which means the color of green grass is one thing, but the warmth of green grass is more important because of moisture, photosynthesis, healthy plants. So what is its signature? Signature means how much do you score in this band, how much you score in this band, how much you score in this band, how much you score here, and you know what bands in the middle also, in these small increments. That this signature belongs to green grass. When you reflect like this in all these wavelengths, you are green grass. Dry grass reflects like that. Water. Look, water, that's why in our thing water looks black, because water is cooler than the rest. So in the infrared spectrum, it looks black in that. And soil is like that. So each one, so these lines are there. So when that SIG file is generating a signature, that in this, first he's doing his own clustering, and then he's generating a signature, that how much is this class that I made, how much is he doing in this band, that band, that band, that band, like that. And so in this, do we have water diagram? Snow. Here we have also snow. Let's see snow. Snow is red. So it's reflecting in blue, green, this, and it's dipping continuously. I don't know why snow behaves like this, but snow becomes excessively bright. Snow is very bright, bright white. So it's banging like it's blowing apart from all the bands blue, green, red. But funnily, it seems kind of high in the near infrared, but of course very quickly in the infrared and all this because it's cool. So it's going and then again increasing in the broader wavelength. So it actually comes from the knowledge of the physical properties of the material. Due to the physical properties of the material, it reflects light, electromagnetic in a certain way. So effectively, if you see, in reality, biology, chemistry, and physics are all integrated. Because of the biological characteristics of plants, it has such chemical properties, and due to that chemical properties, its physics is like this. And all of that is of use for orbital balanced. This is how one subject is related to the other, for identifying social inclusion or urban growth. Right? So that's how kind of fascinating, and how much the knowledge of physics through urban planning you study physics, and through physics you get into urban planning. That's how it kind of works. So the commands you will get, no problem. slowly understanding the concept is much more important. Because command, you will type a command 20 times, you will be able to type it with your eyes closed. And the whole point of coding is that it is designed to be easy to test. That's why it is coded. Make directory. Please make a directory. He will say Mugdir. So, how long? If you learned in your life to say this, please make a directory. Mugdir is. So that's why it's better to learn coding than to write memes in WhatsApp. That spoils your English, and you don't get anything in return. LOL. Okay, nice. It's nice to write LOL. So if one can write LOL, one can definitely write LS. LS is smaller than LOL. और LOL लिख के कुछ मिलता नहीं है. In fact, it's nice to say, oh, I burst out laughing. तो LOL में एक तो LOL बंगाली में अजीब लगता है क्योंकि LOL बंगाली में तो जो मुंह से जब पानी निकलता है, हाँ उसको बंगाली में LOL तो so LOL, and there are many such things. So see, people anyway would want to contract, but the dangerous thing is when you do that in WhatsApp and social media and all, one, you lose command of your language, because language should always be full words, full sentences, punctuation. Coding should be compact, because that's computer's language. So people are using compact language when they talk to each other, but they are trying to write long prompts while talking to AI. Become opposite. So people are not realizing that you are not supposed to code with your friend. You are not supposed to be, somebody sends something, but this has become normal. But these cultures should, of course, must change, because let's say somebody sends you something. Thumbs up ka kya karna hai? It's not difficult to say, oh thank you, oh very nice, oh that's rather nice. So that's how you learn. When you say just thank you or lol, and then what happens is that it becomes caricaturized. फिर ये emoji बनाते रहते हैं. अब देख man, nobody laughs like nobody laughs like that. So it's almost like somebody posts a photo of a cat running around. ये वो यहाँ से आंसू टपक गए. Man, we never do like that. और तुम देखोगे जब if you see a video of a person, जब वो है वाला वो डाल रहा होगा और उसका वीडियो तुम लोगे ना वो इस तरह से डाल रहा होगा. तो वहाँ से तो गंभीर ही है और उसको देख के दूसरा ये हो रहा है. हाँ फिर कभी तो emoji is not a bad thing, it's nice, but they generate it for you. You are consuming all the time, so it's for their convenience. तो वो किए जा रहा है, वो सब अपना emoji बना रहे हैं. ये गुलू सब बने. अच्छा फिर उसका फिर पहले जब बहुत पहले जब वो बस SMS जाता था तो उसके वो लोग उससे बनाते थे. तो अभी भी मैं उस टाइम तो मैं अभी भी उसी से बनाता हूँ, जो कोलन बना के फिर 2 ब्रैकेट्स डाल. अभी उसका तो उसमें अब कंपैरिजन इसमें है कि ओहो आप कोलन से बनाते हम इमोजी डालते. अरे उस इम्प्रूवमेंट से कुछ खास मतलब उसका कुछ खास फायदा नहीं है. फिर आप इमोजी कूदने वाला भी बनाए, उसमें कोई वो नहीं है, क्योंकि वो इमोजी जो बना हुआ है उसके पीछे भी कुछ ऐसा ही कुछ लिखा होगा जो उसका स्क्रिप्ट है, जो उसका कोड है. इट्स बेटर टू कीप लैंग्वेज लाइक लिटरेचर एंड कोडिंग शुड बी कॉम्पैक्ट. जैसे लाइक आई टिपिकली जैसे कल मैं फैज़ान का जब मैं वो इंटरव्यू देख रहा था, तो बिकॉज थोड़ा हिंदी में लॉस ज़्यादा हो गया. पर अर्लियर इफ यू सी बनारस साइड में भी वेरी नाइस हिंदी, Lucknow side, उस side में otherwise Urdu still retains a lot of it. So if you will say Hindi-oriented languages, in Bengali you will see the minimum of these emoji नहीं डालते हैं, क्योंकि वो लिखेंगे तो उनको तो language का ही शो ऑफ उनको करना है. तो वो इमोजी डालेगा तो वो तो वही चला गया ना. फिर वो तो कहेगा कि चांस लाएगा तो उस सिचुएशन में रविन्द्रनाथ के 2 लाइन चाहे कॉपी पेस्ट करके मारो, पर रविन्द्रनाथ के 2 लाइन को मारेगा, उसका इमोजी नहीं बन सकता. सो एंड नाउ इट्स सो दीस आर सो बट नाउ यू नो दैट बेटर टू अगर कॉम्पैक्ट लैंग्वेज यूज़ करना है तो इसमें यूज़ करो, इसमें तो बहुत फ़ायदा है और वो बड़ा कूल भी लगेगा उससे. नाउ यू ऑल्सो अंडरस्टैंड, you know, when you write a code, you will understand some of you may be familiar. When you're writing a program, often you begin like this. Like C programs, you begin like this: include, hashtag include, right? Shell programs, you begin hash. It's called a shebang. It means that this program uses, or this program is written in Python or in whatever, right? This is also used. Let's say I am writing a program now. And let's say I make it highlighting of scripts, and let's say and I'm saying this bin bash, and I'm saying simple program echo. Generally, when programming begins, this is like a convention. Hello world. It's like greeting, like you're greeting. The computer is greeting the world. You are greeting the computer world. Or you can write hello C world, hello bash world. So, hello world. And I can write comments. Comments is which will not be part of the program. It's to understand this program. Program greets and says hello. That's what this program does. So this is called a hashtag. The purpose of the hashtag is to use, so which means if I am running a program and let's say I have two options, I write echo hello C world and just general world. When I want to say just hello world, I can comment out this one. If I type this, it becomes a comment, computer doesn't process it. Or if I want to run this one, I can comment out this one. So this is a comment, hashtag is a comment. What do people know hashtag as? Hashtag this, hashtag that, hashtag I started yoga today, hashtag this, that. But hashtag originally, it actually comes from this world into this world. And then people get pretty happy using that. But if you do this, you have both sides. You know the main one, and you also know that, man, come on, it's a joke. Hashtag doesn't come from the world of social media, it's imported. और उसको लेके फिर सब, and then I was like, one of my friends a few years back was like, so लिख दीजिए hashtag जाकर मैंने कहा वो भी पता नहीं मैंने कहा hashtag क्या है अरे आपको पता नहीं था. This was like, when I just come back from Ethiopia में तो इंटरनेट ही कम है तो वहाँ पे like इंटरनेट बहुत है पर the memory given for money is very low. तो उसमें 2 YouTube में ही वो निकल जाता है. फिर लोग कार्ड स्क्रैच करने लगते थे, फिर टक 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 करके डालेंगे. तो उतना हैशटैग मैंने कहा हैशटैग क्या है? फिर वो कहते क्या आपको हैशटैग मिलता है, हैशटैग अच्छा जिससे प्रोग्राम लिखा जाता है वो इसलिए तो इट्स लाइक ठीक है very well, but that's I would say that's the less important variation of that. So even like why the C programming language is called C. That's why these Unix people are so wonderful. It's called C because the program before that was called B. So they wrote an operating system. अब उसने कहा कि नाम में क्या जाता है, नाम में है क्या B. उससे पहले किसी ने A ट्राई किया हो. The first operating system was A. उसके पास में B. B उतना वो नहीं किया तभी वो जो बना वो C. And then people may think that C is this, C is that. No, C is only C. It's just C. The whole point is waste less time on these naming this, that, and all. Get on with the job. But when naming a poem, when naming a human being, they're spent energy. ये लोगों के नाम को दे देंगे C. In a way, that's also fun to do. I'm C. Okay, I'm Z. So you can. But the purpose of compactness is this, and never is it a good idea to increase work for yourself. The work should be how to learn how to make work more efficient. That is, वही वो sell कर रहे हैं, but AI में जिस तरह से कर रहे हैं, that's a very dangerous thing, because that's the ultimate dependence. मतलब आप कुछ भी लिखना भूल जाएंगे. So they will say that you're a prompt engineer. These are bullshit terms. It's nothing like a prompt engineer. Prompt engineer is like communicating with AI, writing that line. If you know English, you'll be able to write. But you can't be prompt engineer if you do not know what to ask and you do not have the right language to ask. But better still is to learn how to program itself. And then you can do both. Work together with ठीक है? So इसको practice करना and so I'm really juggle because you're covering a lot of things. You're going pretty heavy. So don't feel worried if you are doing things which in 4 or 5 year programs, at least in India, they don't even begin to cover. Ask anyone if they do GIS, ask them what is code and ask them image classification. Not only are you doing that, you're also doing a studio exercise, you're also studying about slums, you're also doing programming basics, you're also doing mathematical modeling, वो तो छूते भी नहीं है. Any modeling, algebraic modeling of city, वो तो छूते भी नहीं. So you are anyway doing, और वो भी रोज़ा के महीने में होते हैं. तो इसके बाद जब रोज़ा खत्म हुआ तो एनर्जी भी ज़्यादा आ जाएगी, फिर उसको तो और ही तो अभी तुमने रिफ्लेक्शन के टाइम में बहुत कुछ रिफ्लेक्ट कर लिया. एंड सॉरी जी, तो वो रोज़ा कब तक है? ठीक है. और अभी तो और प्रेशर बढ़ेगा थोड़ा. ठीक है. No, I'm saying for you because actually when you have heavy intellectual stuff that takes more calories. It's as if the sports takes calories, but you can be sitting. It's actually brain with the CPU जैसा ही है ना. When you use your brain, it burns calories like hell. So it's why we are doing a lot, but that's why ज़्यादा जब वो करोगे तो थोड़ी देर ऑफ भी कर लो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, because it will actually drain you. And उस वाले चीज़ में उतना नहीं जाता, तो ये हो जाता है. जिसमें बकवास कर रहा होता है कि आई थिंक लैंड यूज इज इंक्रीजिंग सर, फिर निकल जाओ ठीक. इसमें अब ये समझते कि वेवलेंथ